Welcome back to the daily discussion. So let's talk about habit stacking real quick. For those who don't know what habit stacking is you put multiple habits in a row so that once you start one, you just progress into the next and continue so that you have multiple things in a complex manner that work together to get things that you want done without having to think about it. Now, I have largely put a lot of things in my life in habit stacking so that I don't forget things when I get home or for stuff I have to use on a day-to-day basis. One of those things is when I come home, I put my stuff, my bag down. I have started finishing up my workout or what I'm going to be doing for the evening fitness routine, so I can get it done much earlier, or not right before I go to bed. And then I come back in, I finish up the one meal prep thing I need to do, which is get my salad done, and then I get my water ready for the next day. Then I wash my dishes and finish, and then I'm done. Now, today my wife had recognized that I had kind of an off day at work, and when I got home, I went out and did my fitness stuff, and when I came back in, she was doing my dishes, which I'm very much appreciative of. So I don't want to make this sound like it was a negative thing. That was a very nice thing she did for me. But here is the problem with habit stacking. Because she was doing the dishes, I forgot to do the other things because as I saw that was done, my brain processed that the other things were already complete. And I didn't remember until almost an hour later when I saw that my bag wasn't in the position that I typically put it in for the next day. Now, again, not her problem. That's something that's my fault. And I just forgot because I stack these things so well together that when one thing gets out of place, the others start to get lost. So that is something to kind of consider if things go different than planned, so that you have a kind of a backup. Now today I didn't really have a backup because I just haven't really needed one up until this point typically. But also that's because this specific routine is new since I've gotten the meal prep containers that do my daily meal prep all in one, because otherwise she's done this in the past where she's washed them, but at those times my containers were then sitting there ready for me to then fill them for the next day. So then I would have remembered to do that. But since I don't have to fill those new containers, they're no longer sitting there ready for me to use. So that there was no backup for me. So then that just shows me a flaw in my own system that I need to kind of clear up for the next time where she does something nice like this for me. And so anyway, just something fun to kind of think about, and just remember that when you do habit stack, kind of prepare for a possibility of something changing that so that you don't forget some of those things, especially if it's something important. Now, fortunately for this, even if I wouldn't remember till tomorrow morning, it wouldn't have costed me a lot of time, but it might for you, depending on what, or something else that I might do, depending on what it is. So just something to think about, and something to laugh about with me.